Do not pass judgment on anyone unless you have talked to them one-on-one. I don't care what the story is. Those powerful words belong to Michael Jackson, a man who lived his entire existence under the blinding, unforgiving glare of the global media spotlight. While the king of pop was universally celebrated for his gentle, soft-spoken demeanor and his unparalleled musical genius, he possessed a razor-sharp boundary. When aggressive reporters, opportunistic television hosts, and tabloid journalists crossed the line into blatant disrespect, Michael Jackson did not hesitate to put them firmly in their place. Welcome back. If you want to uncover the raw truths, hidden media histories, and unforgettable cultural moments that shaped the entertainment industry, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like right now to help us keep bringing these deep breakdowns to life. Today, we are analyzing the specific television moments where the media pushed Michael Jackson too far. From invasive questions about his physical health to public interrogations about his personal relationships. This is the definitive look at Michael Jackson shutting down disrespectful interviewers. The year was 1993, and Michael Jackson sat down with Oprah Winfrey for a live, globally broadcast interview intended to clear up years of rampant tabloid speculation. In one of the most raw and emotionally heavy moments in television history, Michael opened up about his diagnosis with vitiligo, a complex genetic medical condition that destroys skin pigment. When Oprah directly asked him when the color of his skin began to visibly alter, Michael took a deep breath, visibly pained, and noted it began sometime after the release of his Thriller album. He explained with deep sadness that the condition ran in his family, originating on his father's side and emphasizing that it was something he absolutely could not control. Rather than offering basic human empathy, the interview pivoted to a highly disappointing follow-up question, demanding absolute confirmation that he was not actively taking chemical substances to purposely change his identity. Michael immediately shut down the underlying accusation, explaining the medical necessity of using corrective makeup to even out the severe physical blotches caused by the disease. He then reframed the entire philosophy of fame, stating that as a true admirer of classic art, if he had the chance to speak with Michelangelo, he would ask about the inspiration behind the art, not about who the artist went out with last night or why he chose to sit in the sun. It was a masterclass in intellectual defense, forcing the host to realize just how shallow the line of questioning truly was. During a subsequent high-profile television special, legendary journalist Barbara Walters broached the topic of the deeply insulting nicknames generated by the mainstream press. Michael had just finished explaining the profound psychological toll of the British tabloid media, branding him with the derogatory label Wacko Jacko. He looked at Walters and firmly stated, "I am not a Jacko. I am Jackson. I have a heart and I have real feelings. I feel it deeply when you do that to me." Instead of backing off out of respect for his boundaries, Walters doubled down, issuing a classic journalistic disclaimer before launching into an incredibly intrusive critique. She argued that his eccentric style of dress, his unique physical appearance, and his entire public presentation actively invited the chaotic attention of the paparazzi. Michael immediately rejected the premise with a string of firm, quiet denials. He countered that dressing a certain way did not mean he desired a life devoid of privacy, stating that if the paparazzi insisted on trailing his every move, the bare minimum they could do was show kindness and report the objective truth. When Walters condescendingly asked if it was truly the role of the press to be kind, she exposed a massive ethical divide. Michael insisted that basic human kindness should extend to all people, including global icons. The disrespect of the media extended far beyond the text of their questions. It was deeply embedded in their complete refusal to recognize Michael's basic humanity. In the very same interview cycles where reporters blamed him for drawing crowds, Michael had to painstakingly explain the agonizing, prison-like reality of his daily existence. He revealed that for decades, his security teams had to sneak him into hotels through subterranean kitchens and service elevators, noting that there were countless luxury lobbies around the world where he had never once seen the front door. He described a life spent literally running for his survival, utilizing complex redirection tactics just to move from a room to a vehicle. He lamented the fact that no authority figure ever stepped forward to declare that an individual deserved basic privacy. He could not take a simple walk in a public park, he could not walk into a standard retail store, and he was permanently trapped inside hotel rooms. For journalists to look at a human being living under the conditions of a high-security prisoner and claim that his choice of clothing was the primary cause of his stalkers showed a complete lack of journalistic integrity. Michael's blunt, honest descriptions of his isolation completely dismantled the media's victim-blaming narrative. Michael's fierce refusal to tolerate public disrespect was not a trait he developed late in life, it was a fundamental part of his character from the time he was a young man. During an early television appearance with the Jackson 5, the program's host began interviewing Michael's younger brother Randy. When Randy innocently explained that he had recently started a rock collection, the host immediately chose to mock the young child on camera, laughing and calling it one of the dumbest things he had ever heard, before the host could even finish his sentence or further alienate the young boy. A teenage Michael Jackson immediately intervened. He cut the host off mid-laugh, looked directly at the camera, and firmly stated, "No, that's interesting. A kid that has rocks is okay." His tone was perfectly calm, but entirely unyielding. With a single sentence, Michael completely validated his younger brother, shielded him from public humiliation, and forced an adult television host to immediately back down and change the direction of the segment. It proved that regardless of the setting, Michael would never allow the people he loved to be demeaned for cheap entertainment. In 1995, Michael Jackson and his new wife, Lisa Mary Presley, agreed to a massive prime-time interview with Diane Sawyer. The media narrative at the time was deeply cynical, with tabloids routinely claiming that their marriage was a calculated public relations stunt. Rather than focusing on their creative endeavors or philanthropy, Sawyer chose to read incredibly explicit, invasive questions submitted by a skeptical public audience, openly asking the couple if they were physically intimate. While Michael and Lisa Mary handled the profound awkwardness with immense grace and confirmed the reality of their relationship, the aggressive line of questioning only intensified. Sawyer shifted the topic back to Michael's vitiligo, framing it not as a medical reality, but as a deliberate choice, stating that the public still felt he hadn't fully explained the whiteness of his skin. Visibly exhausted by the constant invalidation of his health, Michael patiently explained that nature and biology create themselves. When Sawyer explicitly asked if he wished he was his original color again, Michael gave a profound response. "Do I wish I was the nature that I loved? I love black. I love who I am." It was later widely reported that both Michael and Lisa Mary deeply regretted participating in the broadcast as it prioritized tabloid sensationalism over professional journalism. In the highly controversial British documentary Living with Michael Jackson, the singer decided to open up about the severe emotional abuse and physical insecurities he battled during his youth. He detailed how his father, Joe Jackson, alongside several cousins, would relentlessly mock his appearance during his adolescent years. Michael recounted how family members would mock his acne, causing him to retreat to his bedroom alone just to cry. He confirmed to the interviewer that his father would constantly look at him and insult the shape of his nose, telling him he certainly didn't inherit that feature from his side of the family. Michael shared these deeply painful, highly personal memories to provide context for his adult insecurities. Yet, instead of treating this psychological trauma with basic journalistic care, the interviewer immediately shifted the conversation into an aggressive, rapid-fire interrogation regarding cosmetic procedures. The reporter began listing off specific anatomical areas, accusing Michael of having cheek implants, a chin dimple manufactured, his lips artificially enlarged, and his eyelids entirely reconstructed. Michael forcefully shut down the narrative, labeling the accusations as complete fabrications and nonsense invented by the press to sell copy. As Michael's solo career skyrocketed to unprecedented heights following the release of Thriller, he made the definitive creative decision to stop touring as a group with his brothers. However, immense familial expectations, massive corporate pressures, and relentless media guilt-tripping eventually dragged him back into participating in the 1984 Jackson's Victory Tour. The promotional interviews leading up to the tour make it painfully obvious that Michael was entirely checked out of the corporate machinery. During an awkward press junket involving a local mayor and a swarm of news cameras, a reporter thrust a microphone into Michael's face, demanding to know if he felt afraid when standing in front of such massive, chaotic crowds. Michael delivered a completely flat, monosyllabic response, stating simply that he was never afraid, before offering a brief, highly standardized corporate answer about it being nice to see the fans. His complete refusal to provide the media with the high-energy, emotional soundbite they desperately wanted was his own quiet way of reclaiming control. He refused to perform for journalists who treated his family dynamics like a public spectator sport.